Okay, my name is Renee Gomes, and I have lived in Kailua since 1963. Would be Kailua Beach, although I don't get there as much as I'd like to because well, parking is difficult, and Kailua was always known as a sleepy beach town, but with all the influx of tourism and all the advertising of Kailua in all the tourist magazines, then it's just swamped. It's just like North Shore is, um, North Shore, Kailua. Um, Manalu's even getting a touch of it. It's just there's just too many people. Well, let's see. I lived in. Um, we always lived in Coconut Grove. Back in the 70s, then we moved into Enchanted Lakes. But Kailua was always quiet and peaceful. We didn't have mopeds zipping up and down the road where you can't hear your TV. Um, People were much more friendly, I think. There was more respect for each other, maybe is that the word I want. The neighbors, and we still do it to this day, but not as much. We always took care of the neighbors. Was the old, go borrow sugar from your neighbor, take an egg over. Our neighbors did that, still do it. um, but yeah, I mean, you would just ask your neighbor. If you all went to the same school, you would ask your neighbor, and you just create your own carpool. um, yeah, it was just quiet and nice. Times in Foodland has always been there. Where the Mexican Lindo is now, it used to be a Japanese restaurant. And then next in that little corner where Aloha Salads and everything is, that used to be a hardware store. We used to have two hardware stores in Kailua.
Oh.
Hardware Hawaii and Kailua Hardware. Where the hardware store is now, that used to be a Star supermarket. And then the end side with the little nursery, that used to be a pharmacy. Um, Target was Don Quixote, and before that it was I forget already. And then we had an A&W restaurant over there. And then where Foodland is, we used to have an MJ's grocery store. There was a Wigwam, which was like a Long's kind of a place, the miniature version of a Walmart.
What was the rec
We
center
never, it was always there, just like today. It's a community center, but the most I ever went there was for summer fun. Well, St. Anthony's is where was the only. Well, I think it's the only. I think, the only Catholic church in Kailua. And I was baptized. I mean, I had my first Holy Communion there. I went to school there for a little bit. Um, so that part of me holds that religious aspect for me there. Let's see here. My parents got married in 56, and they lived in Kaimiki with my mom's parents. And then my dad, and then I was born in 1960. And then they moved to Kailua a couple years after that. And that's how we came to Kailua. And the Pali used to be an old, windy, one-way road, and then the Pali became the Pali. And so then it was only 20 minutes to town, or half an hour to right into town. Kailua was always perceived to be a richer class of people, you want to say. Predominantly Caucasian, with a lot of it local people as well, but it was, it just took on that stereotype. But it was affordable. Like the house that I'm currently living in, when my dad bought it in '69, he only paid $25,000 for this house, the original house. You know, I mean, and it was just still affordable. And the big draw was that it was nice beaches, um, and it was nice and cool. The weather was nice, and it was it's a quick trip to town.
With the pulley, with the
With the
with the new.
pulley. It's definitely not a quiet town any longer. Um, the new apartments all along where those, I forgot what that whole condo is called now, but that used to be just Kailua apartments. And yeah, they were kind of run down, but they were cheap apartments that people could afford, and you know, families, single families, 1, 2 kid kind of stuff, just normal everyday folks trying to just do a living. And when they built all those, they were supposed to be affordable, but I don't know who can afford it at 600,000. I mean, I just don't understand how people do it. I'm lucky to be in the situation I am. I mean, I work for the state. I don't make just a little 2-digit figure there.
To them about how this small town is changing to a city, what would you say?
They need to address the homeless and the people that are walking around Kailua town, screaming and yelling at each other, or I mean, yelling at themselves, having a conversation all alone. They're they're just mentally not fit. And then the homelessness, they just need to, we can't build big apartment buildings and sell them for $800,000. We can't continue that. They need to build a place so everybody can have a place to live. Because all these crazy folks on the street, somebody's going to end up getting killed. We've got somebody setting fires all the time. This man just burnt to death and he was paralyzed. He couldn't even get it out of his own house. I don't know what the story was that, but it's just too much. People sleeping in your garage. You wake up and you find strangers in your garage because, everybody has to have a home camera now to watch what's going on. I mean, it's ridiculous. I want to be able to go to sleep, shut the door, lock the door, and go to sleep and know that nobody's going to be in my garage using my outside bathroom during the night to take a bath. I mean,